Hey there, I'm Kevin Downey, and I run an agency called Kevin M. Downey, where we help B2B companies with their sales and marketing efforts. You can visit our website at kevinmdowney.com. Okay, today's topic, real simple. Which sales candidate should you hire? How do you identify sales candidates? So when we talk about sales recruiting, and we dig into this in a long video about our recruiting program called Blue Chip and how we recruit and what's all included, we include business development, process build out and training and prospect list and all that stuff, right? But when we talk about just the recruiting side, how do you decide which sales candidate to hire? The first thing I'll tell you, stop looking at resumes. It is not a qualifier. Resume is nothing more than a disqualifier. That's it. At the end of the day, their experience, because think about it. Think about it this way, and I know a lot of sales managers and owners are going to say, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. It's not. First of all, psychometric assessments are the number one predictor of success for just every role, but sales and business development in particular. And resume is one of the lowest predictors of success when it comes to sales and business development reps. So think about why. If you have a sales rep apply to your job, right, coming from the outside into you, that you publish a role, and they have all these glorious things on their resume and accomplishments and achievements, my question would be, because really think about it, if they were a really high earning sales rep, first of all, why are they looking for a job? If they were really connected in an industry, they probably would never apply to a job. They could do cold outreach for probably no more than a day to the competitors in the industry they're coming from. And they would be, if they just, it happened that the company got sold and they got let go, or there was some crazy thing that happened and they got let go and they were a really successful sales rep. In their industry, they're going to be able to reach out to the competitors and land a job in a matter of a week or two, 3 weeks, whatever. Like, they're not going to have a problem finding a job. So when you get applications that come in that have all these glorious accomplishments on their resume, I just tell you, set it aside. Doesn't mean a hill of beans. At the end of the day, if they were really that good at sales in a particular niche or industry, and I'm sorry, this is just the truth, they would never have to apply to your job. They could reach out within the industry they were successful in and find a job. But even more than that, even if they couldn't do that or they wanted to change industries, they were really good, they could build a prospect list to cold outreach and find a job inside of no more than a few weeks or a month. So at the end of the day, very rarely, I'm not going to say it's not possible, is a really accomplished, high-achieving sales rep that's willing to do hardcore business development going to come in from the outside. So all their achievements and everything you can set aside. So now what else do you have on the resume? Philanthropic activities, contact information, maybe a testimonial or two. I don't know. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. The dots have to line up. Psychometric assessment is the number one way to identify who is going to be successful in sales and business development. They have to be wired for the job, and especially if you want them to do business development. Even if they're sales reps and you want them to do business development, we've got to look at the wiring that's a hybrid between account executive, account manager type sales and pure business development, and they've got to be in there somewhere because you're going to need them to do business development because they're going to have to go out and build that customer base. And certainly if you're hiring for a dedicated business development role, they are going to have to do business development day to day. That's their whole job. They've got to be wired for it. And again, I said this in another video. I talked about this on a podcast not that long ago. The reality is we've run, let's say, I'm going to say just a recent stretch, we ran some numbers. So we have 400 through our assessment. We match them up on two primary traits, what you would call jobs, as we call them on there. One's a BDR, full-time BDR, and one's called hybrid sales, which means they got to do business development, but they're also going to be doing, have an ongoing relationship with the customer and be selling to them as an ongoing relationship, cross-selling, upselling, filling in inventory, yada, yada, whatever. Out of 400, we might get 50 that are strong and good for business development as a dedicated BDR, and we probably, I want to say it's about 15 purely for business development. It is not a high percentage. It is absolutely imperative that they match up on those dots. We can predict success at the highest of accuracy for that kind of role, and it's all because of the psychometric assessment. It isn't going to happen by looking at their resume or you gleaning something from them in an interview. The dots matter. And I talk, again, I show it on a screen grab on another video. In fact, I'll put it in the description for this video. You'll want to get a psychometric assessment and use that as your primary qualifier for interviewing people for any job that's going to involve business development and ultimately sales, but especially business development. Okay? All right. Really appreciate it. You can reach out to us. Check us out, kevinmdowney.com. Appreciate you being here. Best of luck in business, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.